Okay, we're at the front door, and what we're seeing here is right inside the front doorway, we have pockets. Little pockets. I think water can get in there. I do. How about mice? I think mice could even get in there. That's big enough for mice. Mice and water. Okay. We come over here. These metal plates are called lintels, and they support the brick. It's not the same with wood. Okay. And if we look around our foundation perimeter, we should see, we don't have much in the way of. We don't have adequate. It looks like somebody's gone in here and sealed it up. Right here, somebody sealed that up. That is a weep hole. That's there by design. Because brick is a very good building material. This house could burn down and you could rebuild it with a brick. Okay? So, and it's a very good insulator. But a characteristic of brick is that it's very porous. So water goes right through it. And brick is just cladding. This is not your wall. You've got wood inside your walls that the termites were eating. Okay? So you got the nest right here, the bait stations. So the termites have been eating the wood in there. We know there's wood in there. It's supposed to be a drainage plane behind there. And so these weep holes are to allow the moisture to get out from behind the wall cladding. Now, most of the time it's just going to be vapor. You're not going to see anything. And maybe if it's an event, you'll see something, but most of the time it's just vapor. But we're supposed to have those weep holes. And then anytime we disrupt the drainage plane, because see, the drainage plane terminates at the foundation perimeter. So anytime we terminate the drainage plane, anytime we disrupt the drainage plane, we're supposed to have weep holes over these metal lintels, or otherwise they will keep water inside of them and they will rust. They'll rust like that. So we do not have weep holes here, here, and here. It does not go the same. We're not supporting brick here. We're not supporting brick. Also, we'll notice that, if it's a wood panel, we're not supporting brick. These exterior light fixtures should be sealed. Where are you at? Actually, they should be sealed around their bases. You think water can jump off in there? I do. I think water will jump off right in there. So we do not have weep holes. Our light fixtures are not sealed. Water jumps right off in there. Our electric receptacle outlets. Okay, so a lot of people call them plugs. A lot of people call them receptacles. Some people call them outlets. Outlet is just the availability. It's an outlet. But the device is called a receptacle. Or your plug. They're supposed to have weather covers on them. And the receptacles are supposed to be weather resistant. So neither one of those were required when the home was built. Neither one of those were required when the home was remodeled, refinished. What, remodeled, refinished? Yeah. So this is check the tax records, read your report. So come over here, we got our picture windows, we got our vinyl windows. All the ground around here has been disrupted because we've had some foundation repair. Okay, so check your paperwork. We've had some foundation repair. Trees shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to the structure. So this tree right here probably should have had, I'm not a landscape engineer and I'm not a structural engineer, but you probably should have had a root barrier installed on this tree while we're doing all this work. This work might not have been necessary if you had a root barrier installed either earlier or afterwards. I don't know. Again, remember, stay in your lane, bud. This tree right here, oh, that's just one of them pretty little crepe myrtles. I know it is. Okay. Not supposed to be closer than 25 feet to the structure. So I'm coming on along. They're moving on along. Because we're movers. We're shakers and movers. See, there's our weep hole right there. They shouldn't have covered those other weep holes up. Maybe the grading and drainage was different when they did that. And it was an emergency move. But still, that's an unconventional application. That's an unconventional repair. Amateurish. Moving along. Can you come up with something else? Yeah, well, yeah, I can come up with something else. How about this? Right over here, mice are getting into your attic right there. And anytime the vertical wall intersects with the drip edge, we should have kick-out flashing. And our rain gutter butt ends, okay, are supposed to be about 1 inch away from the wall. So the rain gutter butt end is too close. We do not have kick out flashing. Can we see any results here? Well, nothing too dramatic, but we do have some swelling and some separation. There are some water issues over here. And also, I see these wires that are tied on here. Somebody's been torturing or directing or sculpting vines to grow up. They thought that was real pretty. That wrecks your brick mortar. No, that's wrong. That's just wrong. Coming on along over here, we got our kickouts. We got some of our wood paneling. Okay, we do not have a weep hole over that because that's wood. It's only brick. It's only brick. And then we come over here, and then we look underneath this guy, and he looks a little worse for wear, doesn't he? It's got some water damage underneath this bay window. This little kick out. Yeah, we do. Okay. See if I can do a little Hail Mary. If it looks good, we'll use it. Save me coming back around, but I will come back around. That didn't look so bad. Let's see if we can force a flash on this. Fill flash, that's what the photographers call it. Woo, man, that looks good. Okay. There we go. It's one of those I don't know what the deal is, man. You get a landscaping truck, they come with squeaks. Every one of them squeaks. I don't know what that's about. Come over here, this kitchen bay window. How does it look underneath here? How's it looking underneath this one? Ooh, red wasp. Your days are numbered. Okay, we got some wood rot right here in our window casement. Sure do. Oh man, I didn't need a fill flash then, did I? So I guess if I get down here, oh yeah, we thought mice were coming in here. Yeah, we did. Maybe I get another angle. Okay. This siding, it's only good for about 14 years, and it's probably original to the structure. I don't know, because it was remodeled about 30 years ago. That's twice as long. Let's just pretend like the siding was replaced at the time. Still time, you know. I mean, you can paint it. You can put a little, like this casement trim here. You can add some casement trim down here. You can get some more life out of it. You can patch it up. Yeah, you can. But, you know, it's time. It's also time. Rain gutters, downspouts are supposed to discharge water a minimum of 6-10 feet away, between 6 and 10 feet away. Now you put something out here 10 feet and the lawn people are going to crush it, or you are, or the kids are. It's going to be a nuisance, and they have different ways to handle that. One, they have them that roll out. I don't think they work very well. There's some that fold down. I know they don't work very well. Okay, so probably the best solution for this would be to take it under the ground, and then it comes out in a little drain over here. Speaking of drainage, okay, looks like we got pretty good drainage going through here. Good to know. And you come back over here and you start decorating, and things start getting, you know, different. You start putting this back together, all this settles. Know that wood mulch does not belong next to your house. Okay, over here on our foundation perimeter, we've got a parge coat. It's kind of like a cake frosting. Just because the cake frosting's cracked doesn't mean your foundation's cracked. And just because it's not cracked doesn't mean your foundation's not cracked. Okay, two different materials. And it's also conducive to wood destroying insects. It's conducive to termites. But you know what? We've already got termites. We've already been treated for termites. Termites is already, we know about that already. Okay, we've learned. Coming over here, this is our lawn sprinkler spray head, and I do not think this lawn sprinkler was professionally installed. System was professionally installed. I don't think they pulled a permit for it. When you look on the tax records, you do not see a lawn sprinkler system. I know that we've got one. I've been looking at it. Okay, we're going to inspect it. We're going to run all the stations and zones and that kind of stuff. I'm going to speak to it, but we do not have a check valve. We do not have a weather sensor. Now, weather sensors, they're lightweight equipment. They come and go. But the check valves, they last a little longer. They should be serviced once a year. You can't service one if you don't have one, and I don't see one. So it's not on the tax records. I don't see a check valve. The check valve does is it keeps the water from the house from backing back into the potable water delivery system for the whole neighborhood. So if this house gets contaminated or another house gets contaminated, okay, we all got to play by the same rules. So if a house gets contaminated, got a water problem or whatever, it doesn't go back into your lawn sprinkler system, gets contaminated, it breaks, it comes back in. I apologize. Okay, we really need a check valve for everything, but for the lawn sprinkler system it's required, and we don't have one. I can't find one. Okay. How do you feel about it, bud? I'm passionate. That's how I feel about it. Coming on along, we got our vents. We got soffit vents. All right, we were talking about that during the roof covering video. If you go back to the roof covering video, I was talking about the improper ventilation. Okay, the air is supposed to come in here. All right, and then it comes out there. But we've got a power vent on the other side of the fireplace chimney. So the power vent's going to draw the air from here. No air is going to go in there, if it even could, because we've got like 3 layers of insulation in the attic. Okay, did that insulation go all the way to the end? I don't know. It looks like it did improperly. I mean, yeah, it looks like it did when I did the garage attic video. But we're not through yet. We're a long way from through. I wish we were. I get paid the same. But no, I'm not proud either. I'll stay till it's done. Okay, it looks like we've had foundation repair all the way over here. We do not have a splash back, even a splash back. Rain gutter discharge is too close to the house. Again, all this stuff is not real estate improvements and is not inspected. Okay. Come in. Oh, look, that one of the gecko. Come on, talk to me, buddy. Are you going to be there? Come on. There you go, right there. Can you see me? Can you see me? Okay. Box cabinet should be sealed on 3 sides. Our conduit's loose. Our conduit does not have a slip joint. We do have 2 grounding rods within 6 feet. See these pavers? Okay. I'm not inspecting them, but they are not dimensionally uniform. So if Granny comes over, man, you might want to grab her by the elbow and help her around the house. Okay. Sprinkler head too close to the structure. It's supposed to be 5 inches away. Now that probably would have passed a code inspection, but the lack of a check valve would not have. Okay. On along, on along. This is another view. This is another view of our arbor. Okay. And we got the boards holding it up. Look at all that, you know. You think that's going to leak? We created dead valleys up there. We got unnecessary stress. And so you got this dead valley over here and this unnecessary stress, this unnecessary weight. It comes down in this valley over here. And so you got this whole corner coming in here. And look what's happened to the soffit. That illustrates my point. Look what happened to this soffit. Look at that on both sides, you know, because all the weight, yeah. Look at that. Okay. Moving on along, because we're movers. We're mobbing and groving. Over here, we do not have the bubble covers. Alright, we do not. I say bubble covers, in-use covers, excuse me. I shouldn't do that, okay? Because the garage, there's too much storage in the garage. So, coming on along here, see this nice trim board? When I was talking about the kitchen windows, you remember me talking about the kitchen windows? And I said, oh, this board lasts only about 14 years and you can put a little board around here. This board did not used to be here. They are doing what I was telling you could get away with. So it's reasonable to assume behind that board, we've got some cancer running all down that wall right there. Okay, it's reasonable to assume that we got some wood rot in there. That's what we are. Now, just for a moment, I'd just like to do, this is on my client. All right, but this chair swing, you see how it's hanging crooked? I bet it didn't used to hang crooked. I guess the rope stretched a little more on this side than it did on the other side. That's what it looks like. Unless you were in the attic and you saw the blocking that we installed in the attic, and the blocking was loose up there. So I would, if it were my house, I really would get back up in the attic and get that support readjusted and refinished. Coming on along. Here. Here. Now, some inspectors might tell you that you need Z-bar flashing over this and over that and over that. But if they're closer to the ceiling than 24 inches, it's not required. To the eave. Moving on along. Now, if you got a dog, that's probably pretty handy. But if you don't have a dog, it's a hole in your wall. Okay, our handle's kind of loose here. All right. This porch was put in 2024, or at least it was extended. According to the, I don't know why they would want to lie about time travel. I don't know why they lie. Time travel is serious. You don't lie about that. Okay, moving on along. This is where the gas enters. It enters the house. And see the way the pipe has been painted? That's a good thing. Okay. See the way it's not been painted? That's not a good thing. And then we got a second feeder over here. And we do not have a valve. Our valve is missing on our second feeder. So we don't know if it's on or off. Probably was, I think that was even advertised as, in the tax roll it talks about a kitchenette or something out here. But a decommissioned gas pipe like that, okay? It needs to be painted, but a decommissioned gas pipe, okay? It should be capped off right there. You don't want all this dead area contaminating the gas that's going into your home. You just don't. Rain gutter is too close to the structure. What else we got? Oh, we got our garage. And we got all the foam over here. Now this is, I understand what this is about. We've been having battle royale with the rodents. Okay, they're in the attic, they're in the garage, they're everywhere. I get it. Okay, but on our vertical casement here, and when you put that foam like that there, that is like a sponge. And that's going to hold water next to the wood, and then the wood's going to rot. So basically, you cut your nose off to spite your face. It's an old saying, because I'm an old guy. Sorry, this is Boomer Home Inspection. All right. Coming on along and on along and on along. See that? No, that's a sponge. That's gonna cause you more trouble. I know we're getting rid of those. I know those guys don't belong here. I know all that. I get it. But no, that's going to give you some grief. All right, moving along. Bear with me. I still got a little more. You know what I'm not finding? Well, we'll find it here in a little bit, or we won't. Okay, this is called a shrinkage crack. Some people call them corner pops. Corner pops. Call it what you will. But you remember I was talking about the brick and how good it is? Well, the brick expands and contracts at different rates than the foundation does. And the brick actually grows. And up to 60 years, the foundation actually shrinks. You will not be able to measure the growth nor the shrinkage. But you do have pressure that manifests in the corners and causes those cracks to occur. That is not a foundation problem. That is a brick problem. That's holding up the brick-clad siding. Okay? So it's basically, it's in the span of a hand. I don't know whose hand, and if it goes that direction, then it's a shrinkage crack. Also, brick, the parge coat, and the foundation, they all react to the environmental conditions differently, to the temperature, to the sunlight, to the radiant heat, the ambient heat, temperatures, the humidity, the water events. They all react differently. They're all doing different things at different times. Moving on along, because we're movers. This is the water heater temperature pressure relief valve drain piping, and it is supposed to discharge between 3 and 6 inches from the ground, and we're cutting it kind of close here. It's a little too close to the ground. End of the world? Probably not. Okay. Coming along over here, you see how the brick's overhanging the foundation right in here? If it's less than 1/3 of the width of the brick, that's completely allowed. Is it pretty? Probably not, but it is allowed. Now come over here. The grading and drainage is a little different on this side. You can kind of see how it's going down towards the structure. towards the structure. We don't like that. We don't like that. Woo, we don't like that. Rain gutters are too close. Coming along, double pane vinyl frame windows. Over here, we've got high soil. So we've got negative drainage and high soil. Okay, well, it's high soil. It's too close to the, it's too high. The water goes downhill. So the water's coming from over here into the wall. From over here into the wall. This is one of the few cracks that I've seen. This is what I was kind of talking about. I wanted to wait till I got to the end because I hadn't seen any. I'm seeing them on this side. These little stair-step cracks right in here underneath this window. Got a little separation on our brick ledge right there. I'll take a picture of that. That's picture worthy. Yeah. We're picture takers. All right, that's in the cladding. That doesn't necessarily, and probably might have happened after they did the foundation repair. But this is not, okay. Now, here's another thing. The time the house is built. We weren't real big on putting control joints in here. Some people call them expansion joints. Call them what you will. It's like those joints in the street. We expect the street to move, so we put slots in there to try to control the movement, try to control the cracking. And over here, you got, 60 feet of wall? We should have 2 control joints around here at least. I don't know if you can have too few. And they kind of look weird because they go straight down, but otherwise you got the stair-step cracks right in there. Come over to this window, stair-step cracks again. There you go, and the ledge is coming out again. That'll make an even better picture. That'll make a classic illustration. Yeah. Okay. Moving on along. We're already breaking up our termite baits. How about that? Moving on along. We're rolling out over here. This is where we got our main water shutoff valve. The cap is broken. That's a trip hazard. The box needs to be excavated. We need to be able to see the valve. We need to be able to get our hands around it so we can inspect it and service it and replace it. These are our main water sewer cleanouts right over here. Rain gutters too close to the house. The butt ends. Yeah, they are. Okay. We'll find some more to talk about. I'm a talker.